So it's official, man. The Giants just finished their season, finished with a 6-11 record, but luckily they did beat the Eagles on the last game of the season, man. A lot to unpack, a lot to unfold. This offseason is going to be very interesting. A lot of players could be leaving. Saquon Barkley, Shepard could be retiring, Xavier McKinney, Isaiah Simmons, Adoree Jackson, you name it. There's a lot of players that could be departing off of this team. And after a season that didn't go the way we wanted it to ultimately, especially with how the year started, how the year was in the middle of it after all the injuries, and how we ended, man, the Giants have a lot of decisions to make, whether that be coaching staff, whether that be player opposition, player movement, whether that be in the draft. This offseason is probably the most important offseason for this new regime. With Joe Schoen, with Brian Daboll, with them being the young guys coming into New York, with the young guys coming into New York Giants staff and switching things around. And after the first season, they completely switched the mentality of this team. Man, does that go away real quick. Because who knows? After this upcoming season, after this upcoming offseason, whatever next season looks like, they can be on their way out. I think next year is going to be really telling on where Brian Daboll is going to be and where Joe Schoen is going to be in a couple of years. That's what I think. But let's talk about the game, man. So the Eagles had a lot to play for while the Giants did not. The Giants ended up moving up to the number 6 pick. Moving down, I guess, to the number 6 pick. And they were currently slated at the 5th pick before the game. Obviously, we got the tankers. You know, if you lose games and other teams win, you have the possibility to move up. The highest they could have moved up was possibly 4th, but I believe the Cardinals ended up losing to the Seahawks anyways. There was no chance of them moving up to 4 after they ended up being the Eagles. So the Giants put on a clinic in the first half. Like, we don't want to dive into it too much because it's the last game of the season where the Eagles trying. I don't care what y'all say. The Eagles had no shot. This is a game that meant a lot to the Eagles. If they go out there and win, and somehow, some way the Cowboys go out there and lose to the Washington Commanders, do we think they were going to lose? No. Did they lose? No. The Eagles had a lot to play for. And the Giants straight up confused them on defense, pressured Jalen Hurts 24/7. Jalen Hurts was over here sticking up the middle finger because that finger was dislocated. A.J. Brown sadly went down with a knee injury. But overall, the Giants took advantage where they could, and that offense had no answer. The offense had no answer. You know, the Eagles have been spiraling. They ended the season 1-5. What's annoying is that one win did come against us, but I really wish they finished 0-6, losing twice to us. Somehow, some way, we did split with the Eagles, though, and we don't beat the Eagles often. So, you know, I'll take that as a W, and especially the fashion that it was in the first half. We went to the first half 24-0. 24-0 at the end of the first half. I'll take that any day. No matter what week it is, no matter who's playing on the field, I'll take it any day because the Eagles deserve that. We don't like the Eagles around here, obviously, and especially with how the year ended last year by them ending our season. It's good to, you know, punch them in the mouth real quick, and who knows, they're probably going to be a first-round exit anyways. But we're not here to talk about the Eagles. The good, what do we see? Xavier McKinney, man, with 2 interceptions. He just stat-padded in that game, and shout out to him. I don't say that as a negative point. I say that as 2 interceptions onto his stats for the season helps bolster his chances of possibly getting a little bit more money, possibly getting a bigger contract, whether it's with the Giants or whether it's somewhere else. These are the type of decisions that are going to have to be made very soon after the season when free agency begins. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that. But Xavier McKinney, pretty much all these players that, you know, have a possibility of coming back, they kind of ended the season on a good note. Xavier McKinney with 2 picks, all over the field, played every single game for the Giants this season. Also, every single snap besides the last couple snaps in this game right here. Bobby Okereke had a great season. Kayvon Thibodeau, the way he ended it, man, the moment he hit 11.5 sacks, he kind of like stonewalled, and he didn't really increase on anything. But, you know, nevertheless, you like to see him reach that sack total, and you like to see where he's at. Dexter Lawrence, you know what Dexter Lawrence is going to be. You know what he's going to do. And if there's anything to bank on, Dexter Lawrence is going to be back next year. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Saquon Barkley with 2 touchdowns in this game. Rushing the ball with him, throwing the ball to him. Who knows? Was this Saquon Barkley's last game as a New York Giant? Heading into the offseason last season, I said there was no chance Saquon Barkley was not going to be back on the Giants. He ended up being back on the Giants under a franchise tag. And now here we are going to play the same record this offseason. This one has a little more of a sour note. We're not coming off of a playoff run. We're not coming off of a playoff win. We're coming off of a bad season where Saquon Barkley continued to be what the Giants need in a running back. And people who think that they're going to be able to replace Saquon Barkley, it's tough to really think that it's going to happen. Unless you go in the draft and you draft someone late or you draft someone in the mid-rounds that comes in and supports his team. But so far, we haven't seen it yet. Eric Gray got a little bit of touches in this game, a little bit of touches all season. Can we bank on him? We can't. There's a lot of decisions to be made in this season. Darius Slayton got a touchdown. Tyrod Taylor looked hurt, came back in after Tommy DeVito got hurt, which that's the story of the season. Obviously, injuries continue to pile on, but playing possibly almost 4 quarterbacks this season is a crazy thing to think about. Luckily, Tyrod Taylor came back in and continued to torch the Eagles up. Like I said, 24 points, in the first half. Sterling Shepard, proper way to send him out. I wish he got a touchdown. Tyrod Taylor targeted him in the end zone and ended up being intercepted. It was 4th and short when Shepard originally passed Jeremy Shockey to be 5th all-time in receptions for the Giants. And then they reverted it back, said it was a run. But on the 4th and goal, they ended up just kicking a field goal. I really wish that Shepard got a touchdown. I really did. But next drive, they made him fumble, got the ball back, and Shepard got his reception. So he moves on to 5th all-time in the New York Giants in receptions. And you love to see it, man. Once again, Sterling Shepard is a guy that, well-respected in the locker room, a leader on and off the field, never really had no issues with the Giants off the field or on the field. Sterling Shepard just had injury issues all year. All his career. All year this year, but all of his career as well. When it came to concussions early on, then he started having Achilles, ACL, another ACL. It was sad. It was sad to see Shepard go out that way the past couple of seasons, but I'm glad he was able to move up. And once again, passing Jeremy Shockey on this list, he's up there with greats now. He's behind his guy, OBJ, behind guys like Toomer, behind other guys like that, man. It's great to see overall. And Sterling Shepard, once again, shout out to him. I think his career is over. I think he's going to retire. I don't know who's really going to go out and sign him. But I love that he continued to stay with the Giants. And I thought he was going to be gone 2 seasons ago. I thought 2 seasons ago he was going to be gone. Came back this year. And who knows, man, is coaching looming for Sterling Shepard? I'm not too sure. I just love the send-off that he got. Overall, man, you guys let me know, where do you rank Sterling Shepard? Let me know down in the comments as a Giants receiver all time. Where do you rank him? Obviously he wasn't up there with OBJ. He never had a peak like that, but he was consistent. And early in his career, man, he was a guy. Like he was a shifty guy. And now you got guys like Wando Robinson, and I'm not going to give Sterling Shepard all of Wando Robinson's credit. Wando looks good. Wando looks really good, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be in this upcoming season because he looked electric. He looks like he's getting his feet back under him. Once again, when you tear your ACL, and I tore my ACL in high school, after a full year is when you really start to feel better, and he's starting to head in that direction. Wando looks good. He looks really shifty, and now he's starting to break guys off when he's running certain routes. Wando is going to be a good piece moving forward. Jalen Hyatt did get hurt, didn't record a touchdown all his rookie season, which is crazy to think about after what he did in the preseason, what he did in the training camp. And, all year he still took the top off of defense here and there, but he never got a touchdown. Sad to see. Darren Waller, I think he's gone. I think we're going to end up coming bait with Darren Waller. That didn't work out. That's pretty much everything when it comes to certain players that, we don't really expect back. Adoree Jackson, I don't expect him back at all. We can't afford to. Probably going to add another cornerback in this upcoming draft. Deonte Banks is already going to be the CB1 next year. A lot of young stars on this team and a lot of young faith that we have to have in this team next year. We have some guys that need to go out and prove it and go out and on a day-to-day basis and continue to get better. But this upcoming draft is one of the most important ones. With the Giants being slated at the number 6 overall pick, they're officially too far away to even think a quarterback's going to fall in their lap. That's just what I think. A guy like Jaden Daniels, someone could possibly sneak up in the top 5 and take him. You got to remember, Jaden Daniels did win the Heisman. And in my opinion, I think that's the guy that the Giants are going to be able to get and should get. Top 2, I don't see us being able to trade with the number 1 overall pick. I don't see it. It's going to cost a lot. It's going to cost an arm and a leg. And will the Giants actually pull it off? I'm not too sure. But that's a lot to unpack. I will be coming to y'all with the offseason content. Make sure you stay tuned on that, man. If you haven't already, subscribe down below. Road to 10K still active, man. We're hitting 10K before the end of the year. Mark your calendars. Mark your books. 10K by the end of the year is going to be achieved. And I appreciate y'all for, watching me throughout this season. Even times when I didn't want to watch the Giants, I still came on, made some videos where I can. The offseason is where we really start to impact this team, and there's a lot looming for this Giants, but that means there's a lot more to talk about this team. And what the Giants are going to do in this upcoming draft, quarterback, receiver, offensive lineman, you let me know your takes down in the comments, man, and we'll be having more content coming through for y'all. So hope to catch you there. I will catch you on the next one. Philly, go suck one. Cowboys, you suck. I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.